Okay, we're live again. We're in Teachings of the Christ Mind. Choose Only Love is the text that I'm reading, and Chapter 1 from Book 1, Echoes of Holiness, Triune Love. So now we're in the book proper for the first time. Thank you for joining me here. Excited to share again. It just makes me happy allowing this expression to come through, and I know it's a very simple presentation, obviously, just the words in my face and somewhat low resolution. The sound quality is and it's okay, but I hope that the vibration comes through nonetheless, because it's really just an expression of love, right? And love is what we are, so it requires no convincing, really. It's just what we are, so there's a simplicity to that, and I just welcome you into that simplicity, and thank you for joining me here. So Triune Love, a message from the voice of Christ through a choir of angels in the presence of Archangel Raphael and Archangel Gabriel. The refuge of divine love. There is a refuge in creation, in the created universe. That refuge is the threshold of essence and is essence itself. It is all light, it is beauty, formless and multiformed. It is colorless and at the same time full of nuances, as if it were a color palette with which a rainbow is painted. That refuge of light, of beauty, of fulfillment, of union is all life. From it comes life. In it is held all existence. It gives shapes to universes of created universes, and those yet to be created. Nothing disturbs the peace, tranquility, security, and solace of this refuge in which the perennial breeze refreshes everything. All creation is created within this shelter. Every process of infinite processes, imperfect union of infinite worlds, is constellated within the bosom of power and glory. Within this shelter, all security is given and cannot be threatened by anything or anyone. In this refuge, fly freely and forever the birds of the sky. Shine in all their glory the lilies of the field. Sing eternal the angels who chant their hymns in praise of the immortal human spirits. Everything is a rhythmic sound of beauty and a melody of song and gratitude. Everything is light. In this refuge, in whose solace everything exists and nothing can be threatened, waters dance and amethysts shine, giving joy to everything, in endless existence. A bee creates honey that sweetens life. A caterpillar, wrapped in its silk, begins to weave a new cocoon that will start a new life. Everything vibrates to the beat of the eternal harmonies in this refuge of divine love, where words are muted and astonishment and reverence replaces language, silence, expectation, astonishment. So this sanctuary that's right in the heart of life, but is actually the essential, that is below the surface, we could say, deeper, and is this hush of reverence for life itself, life without definition, the source of life. This ever-present hum that is below the appearances of everything, but is also expressing through and as those things. All is in an ecstasy of love and truth in this ineffable place in the universe, this placeless place. Everything wraps in peace in this sovereign refuge. Daughters and sons, in this way I try to describe the indescribable, with a hand that gives shape to these words in the same way that a painter gives life to a painting by brushing his work. Serving me with a mind and heart that, united in fullness, act as a forum and pulpit from which I want to reveal a new dimension of divine love, for the joy of your souls. In this way I try to express in words the beauty of the refuge of divine love, which is the union of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the Sacred Heart of Jesus, united in a whole as concentric circles of light and truth. In the union of both hearts rests the security of the human heart and everything created. In all its unity rests the strength of God in all his power and all his glory. So the human heart in union with the heart of Mary and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. When we connect with our own heart, we connect beyond the sense of separation, the sense of limitation, the sense of being alone, into this deep inner connection with everything, really, right? With the divine, and then with all the personages of divinity that have ever existed, including the saints and the sages and the angels. Those higher vibrational expressions of intelligence are all here with us now in the sanctuary of our heart. And what a joy when we start to taste that it's always here with us, that it's not lacking, not missing, and that we can trust that, actually, and that there's a depth available in our own experience really just through the asking. Like, we have a habit of feeling alone in our experience, and it's such an assumption that we don't even question it. But it's such a subtle shift, and yet a very distinct one, when we just open to this inner connection and say, please be with me here. And all of a sudden the aloneness disappears, and we see that there's infinite intelligence living within us, ready to guide us and move through us and comfort us too. The Comforter is a word that's been used in the language for the Holy Spirit, the Comforter of God, the Comforter that will be with us. And it's like we're never alone anymore when we realize that this inner relationship is always available and is always right here. It sounds so simple that it's so easily overlooked, but it is the pearl of inestimable value that's always available to us. And may we not overlook it, may we value it in the way that it is valuable, the only thing that's valuable, really, the most valuable. Holy Trinity, Part 2. The heart of Mary, the heart of Jesus, and the united human heart are a holy trinity within which everything is created, and beyond which nothing exists that is true. This circle of triune love is a circle of infinite love that extends itself to the love of God the Father, making it one with Him and with everything created. In this union lies all creation. In this union, everything is just as God created it to be. In this union, you are the co-creators and co-redeemers of the universe. Staying in this union is how you abide in the presence of love. So this inner union with yourself, with Mary, with Jesus, with the heart, is how we stay in the presence of love. It doesn't have to be Mary and Jesus. It's really yourself, right? And that's what it's saying. That's what it's saying in its own way. Daughters and sons of holiness, these words are directed from a triune heart to a triune heart, from the heart of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit to the heart united in holiness, the heart of Mary, the heart of Jesus, and the united human heart. Feel that in the heart. It's just this available love that's here. And it's beautiful to be held in it, to be connected in that. It feels like nourishing, like this inner nourishment. That's how I feel it. I wonder how you feel it. From the union of these three hearts I have come to speak to you today and always. In the union of the three hearts lies the truth of all that is true. In this unity lies the holiness of yourself, of yourself. It's not something different It's not something other. It is your self, myself, the same self that we've always known, just a little deeper, a little more intimate, a little more true. In this union, you are the light of the world. In this union, all together we create a new heaven and a new earth. When we return to this union, we return to the house of the Father, and in it we exist in the eternal unity that is perpetual creation and extension of love. That's really where we want to be, right? In the perpetual extension of love. Then we can just be in this place of like, we know the love, and then we just get to watch how does this love show up in my movie, in my life, How does it want to express through me? Not really even something to do. It's like the assumption is that love is what I am. Now let's watch how love shows up through this body, through this mind. And then wherever there seems to be a lack of love, that's not a failure. That's just the next opportunity for love to meet itself more deeply, to meet the illusion of lack from love. Like, oh, I failed there, I was harsh there, I was cruel there. Okay, so let's not identify with that illusion of lack of love, because everything is love. So we hold it to the light of love, and we see that it can't stand up when it's brought to the light, that lack is an illusion. There's no such thing as lack of love in all the universe. And so it can't stand up to being actually held in love. It dissolves, everything dissolves. It has to. It's just a fact of reality. Got lost here. Daughters and sons of holiness, these words are directed from a triune heart to a triune heart. That I read. In this union you are the light of the world. In this union altogether we create a new heaven and a new earth. When we return to this union, we return to the house of the Father, and in it we exist in the eternal unity that is perpetual creation, resting in perpetual creation, in the extension of love, just enjoying that, basking in that, bathing in that, loving that as our true self, loving ourself, and letting that love extend to everything we see. Feel the tenderness of love within this unit of refuge. A unit of refuge. Make yourself one with it. Why not? Merge in its light. Let the self disappear in the us, into the whole. Fly with the flight of yourself to this refuge where you are, and where the space is so large that nothing can limit you, beyond all limits, and beyond any sense of guilt or fear. Like there's no downside to merging in love. It's like what the drug addict is looking for in the chemical, that feeling. When we find it within ourselves and that we already have access to it, then we can just deepen into it. It's like you can't really become addicted to it because it undoes all separation. So who would there be to be addicted? It's like a totally nourishing and life-fulfilling joy and pleasure, actually. So there's no reason not to bask in it and deepen in it and lose yourself in it. Fly with the flight of yourself to this refuge where you and where the space is so large that nothing can limit you. Nothing escapes the light of this refuge of divine love that encompasses everything. Feel the joy of the union, the bliss of love. Let every fiber of yourself engage in its crystalline waters and cool with the wind that blows from the tenderness of peace. Begin to remember the divine memories. Remember all the love that you have experienced in this refuge, the embrace of your Creator, Father, the joy of union, and the ineffable joy of creating the beautiful, the good, and the holy. So memories of truth start to emerge into your mind as we bask in the radiance of love. And also just the memory of love itself. That it's like, instead of the mind remembering the past and the linear storyline, we use the same faculty of memory to remember pure love in this present moment. And It's just a different way of using the same faculty that can both tell you that you are a fearful, limited being and look at all the things you've done wrong in the past, or it can connect vertically to the truth of what you are now and plug into that and begin the download of bliss nectar that is your birthright as a child of the divine, that is the very way you were created and sustained as a being, as something that exists, is through that relationship of perfect love. A song of joy begins to be heard from above. The angels and your own united human hearts, holy creations, sing a song of love and gratitude for being recognized by the love of their Creator. Hallelujah. The movement of this song creates a new song. From its notes emerge a new creation. By giving birth to a new creation, a new Holy Trinity is created. Now you join your creations, and they to theirs, and thus Creator, created, creation are again made one in a new triad of eternal creation. Always three, always one, always triune. So, wow, here it's describing the process of creation, where our creations join with us in reverence for the Creator, in the same way that we join in reverence for our Creator. And this is like a cascading expansion of love, meeting love, creating love, and that love honoring its Creator as the Creator honors what created it. And it's like a cascading waterfall of love creating itself in new expressions, in new ways. It's like, I don't think we have to understand it too technically, you know? It's really just in the feeling of it and the enjoyment of it. And, you know, we get it on some level because it's what we are, you know? It's what we are. It's the extension of love. And when we stop defining something as other than love, then we begin to experience the truth of love. When we just stop denying it, when we stop actively saying that I am something other than that, and we just open with some willingness to the possibility that pure love is here now, can't be earned, but is just ever present, available, creating itself and extending itself. Well, part of why I love this book is because it just puts me in that vibration of the extension of love. And it's not as technical as like A Course in Miracles, which I love A Course in Miracles as well. And A Course in Miracles is very good for getting into the delicacies of the mind and actually how the mind denies the reality of love. But of course the purpose is always present moment awareness of the love that we are. That's the purpose. So if we can just connect into that now, then we're in the whole purpose of that entire book, you know. And then we just notice whatever comes up to seem to block that experience. And that's where the forgiveness is done, the undoing, the choice between love and fear. And then some of the stickier places that we've invested in over and over again are going to come up, but we start to see them as these beautiful opportunities instead of as problems. Oh, like this is coming up now, so that means I, as the perfect creator, the pure light that I am, can now forgive this and heal this in my own mind. And so once we start to really see it as an opportunity instead of a problem, oh man, it changes things big time, rapidly too. It's like, it's a game changer. And often the way this goes is we don't catch it till later oftentimes, you know. we come back to a certain perception later and say, oh, that seemed like not love, you know. And now I can hold it, and now I can forgive it, and now I can hold it in love. But as we get more and more attuned to that vibration of truth, then we start to catch these blockages that come up earlier and more gently and with more love, with more kindness. And so then we start to see that love is the context, and love is the context, and it's just our own limited mind that hides itself away in something that seems less than that, something that seems smaller. And that identification is time-bound, and therefore ultimately heading to the same conclusion, which is disappearing into perfect love. Yeah. Anyway, it sounds crazy until you're experiencing it, I suppose. Maybe it doesn't sound crazy, you know. Maybe you're nodding your head and just loving it. I don't know. But I'd love to hear your experience in the comments below. And I'll repeat again that I'm opening this space of calling it the Christ Mind Healing Dyad, or one-on-one, which means we join together in this intention to connect in the light, in the love that we are. That's the acknowledgement, and that's the support that exists and holds us. From there, the invitation is, what is here to bless in my experience? And we take turns sharing. Having this fear of not being good enough in my workplace, say, that could be coming up. Okay, that's coming up. Okay, beautiful. So we hold that and we bless that, and we hold that to the light together, and we just allow it to be here without trying to change it or fix it or make it a problem. We hold it and we bless it. Very simple. And then the other goes, okay, what's here? Sometimes it's not something difficult. It can be like a new perception of some love or kindness coming forward, you know. And we hold that with joy, with reverence, a new perception of the beauty, or, you know, the kindness, or whatever it is that's coming up in this moment. You know, it's for each one to be honest with their present moment experience, and then to trust that things do not come up accidentally. You know, not when we set this intention. What's coming up is coming up to be healed. So we trust that what comes up is relevant to that intention and is ready. It's ready to be healed. It's ready to come to the light. You know, it's not accidental. So we start to learn that actually Spirit is very kind in that way. It won't bring up something that's too intense for us to hold. It won't bring up something that's too fearful to meet, you know, too shameful. No, it will bring up the next thing that we can actually skillfully and lovingly meet. And that really deep, dark stuff will wait until we're ready for it. There's a beautiful intelligence to the process. And the more willing we become to align with it, the more kind we start to see that it is. Because it's actually the fear-based, ego-limited mind that makes it seem scary. You know, it's paradoxical. Anyway, I could ramble on and on once I get on this flow. It's really my joy to share in this way. So grateful, and thank you again, whoever's here, whoever's listening in the future. I welcome you with whole heart, and I'll see you next time. Okay, lots of love. Bye-bye.